your portfolio will make or break you, because it's usually the first thing a client will look at, and it is often the main thing they'll use to decide whether to hire you or not. So obviously nailing it is critical.
A Philippine podcast show dedicated to help you thrive for greatness.
This guy is phenomenally passionate about what he does.
How freaking amazing Jameer is. So skilled and so qualified, and I highly recommend him.
Without a doubt, the best funnel builder I've ever come across.
Yeah, really into the detail, and cannot recommend him highly enough.
Not only was efficient and fast, but he understood the project.
The person who built our entire funnel from beginning to end and has been with us since day one is Jameer.
Nothing But Up, the podcast, with your host, Jameer Angelo.
I'm always flexing.
What's happening, guys? Good morning. Welcome to the podcast. This is Jameer Angelo, your host for Nothing But Up, the podcast. This is episode number 27. And yes, I'm still coming to you live here from my simple home office in the province of South Cotabato. Guys, today I'll try and promise this episode is going to be another killer episode for everyone. And speaking about killer, topic today we'll talk about ways to create a killer freelancer portfolio. So, why does it matter? And why is it somehow significant to the type of job where I am working, or probably to, our audience or people that's listened or tuned in to this episode that is looking to work from home and become a freelancer himself or herself. So that is what's gonna be happening. In today's episode, I'm gonna be throwing some, valuable tips, which I personally have owned and mastered over the past few years, and looking forward to sharing that over with you. But just like any other episode, before we go and dive into all of our, for our topic today, I'm just gonna throw some quick shout outs to everybody that has supported and has stuck with us all throughout this entire 7 months that we're live on air and on broadcast with a broadcast. So shout out to everybody that has tuned in right now and continue to support us. Appreciate you. And getting some positive feedback as well for our Apple podcast. So if you haven't, and if you happen to be an Apple user, don't hesitate. It's never too late. Just try and go to Apple Podcasts on your phones, search Nothing But Up the podcast, and then obviously you will find a show. Drop your rating and your comment, then just email me, and I'm going to be sending you your free T-shirts or whatever apparel or merchandise that you wanna have. I'm going to go ahead through and set it out to you. Email me at funnelexpertph@gmail.com, and then we'll talk to that. Also, shout out to everybody tuned in. I'm seeing a couple of people from Lebanon tuned in to our show, so pretty cool. It's kind of like this show's catering all over the world, guys, and it's I think people could resonate with most of our topics, and considering the current situation right now with the pandemic and people transitioning to go and try and work online, become a freelancer, and simply enjoying the benefits of having to get paid and be right at the comfort of their homes for their families. So definitely this channel or this show is absolutely for you. So shout out to all my friends here in Sarala, South Cotabato. Shout out to Benjamin Balda. Shout out to Victor. Who else? Albert Descalsota. Belated happy birthday to you, dude. Master People, belated happy birthday as well to you. All my friends in Cebu, office mates, Hope you're staying safe there. I know it's been quite crazy the past few weeks now. As a matter of fact, where we are on MECQ once again. Um, but guys, it is such a tough situation. And yeah, this month is February. Just definitely just right 2 months of 2021, and it's almost the end of the month now. So I'm really hoping and praying that you're trying to cope things up with your, especially with your health, with your careers. Hoping everybody is doing okay, despite the craziness that's being happening. I mean, tough times definitely, but we will be able to push through. And because of that, that is, I don't know if you noticed, guys, but the past few episodes, I didn't quite expect it because originally the intention of this show is to kind of like interview and get some insights from our guests, when it comes to their achievements, overcoming their struggles, you know and fears perhaps, and getting good lessons out of their life and their stories, in the hopes of sharing it over to you to provide you more value and learning out of this podcast show. And that is still our intention, of course, for obvious reasons, and that is the reason behind why this podcast show has been established. And that is in the mere passion and dedication to bring you quality episodes every Saturday, that could really motivate you and drive you to strive even more. And apparently, like probably any other situation, it could be with business or relationship or careers, whatever. You have to transition, right? And you have to capitalize on something that is working. And what was surprising to me is that the past two episodes has garnered more views and downloads compared to the rest. So, I mean, if you're gonna come to think of it, maybe if coming from my perspective, perhaps the decision has to be made. So I have to transition, and since people are resonating to the amount of content I'm giving away when it comes to freelancing and working from home, I decided to go through and push more to that. But of course, we're not drastically changing things off. It's just that, since people are seeking and trying to get, tips and advices about how to really be successful when it comes to venturing and entering the freelance industry or the freelancing industry, and how to work from home, why not, right? So that's exactly the reason why we're here today, and why I'm here now. To talk things and to walk you through some of the tips and advice that I could give away for you. So going to the topic, portfolio. So I don't know if you followed me. Hopefully, if you did follow me closely on my Facebook channel, it's Funnel Expert PH. I did post a snippet of a video. It wasn't. Some thought it was a podcast interview, but it really wasn't. It was just a snippet of actually a call I had with a potential client. Technically now he's a client because I just signed a contract with him, who happens to was searching online, right? Was going through a rough situation because he has a product, is really looking to scale it. He attempted to build funnels for himself, wasn't able to get positive results as he hoped so. He hired a guy, I think it was from I don't know if it was from, I know it was from Southeast Asia, Bangladesh. Yeah, remembered it. So he hired a guy there to run a campaign for him. went through the steps and processes of building a funnel, and then launched the campaign, spent about nearly 400 $500 to do so, but wasn't able to get any, not even a single sale. So what he said to me is that he came across my profile, saw my portfolio, and he decided to pull the trigger right away. And it really doesn't happen often. I mean, I don't know about most freelancers out there, but you receiving, just out of the blue, out of nowhere, you receive a contract right away, and all you're gonna need to do is just accept it, right? And we're not talking about small numbers here, guys. It's a huge amount of money that's trying to come into you, right? So I thought about cutting the video out and then releasing it in my social media channel, specifically in my Facebook fan page, Funnel Expert PH, to show my followers and probably people looking to get some resource about really knowing and understanding the importance of having a good, solid, and a killer portfolio. So guys, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking today in today's episode for sure. And before we dive right into that, let's try and hear a quick word from our sponsors.
As they say, food takes people to places. So during these crazy times, one can take his taste buds on a trip to Western Visayas by trying out one of its specialties. If you've ever been to Negros Occidental, you may have already tried its famous comfort food, Cansi. It's a dish made with slow-cooked beef shanks in deep sour broth soup. Bacolod City is particularly famous for Cansi. It's an iconic Ilonggo dish that is now available in Cebu. Good news for Cebuanos. You can now indulge with a bowl or two of Cansi in Cebu. Introducing Cole's Cansi. Located in the heart of Cebu. Open to serve you daily. To order, visit and message them on Facebook. Satisfy your craving and relieve that stress away. Cole's Cansi, an iconic Ilonggo dish that is now available in Cebu.
I'm always flexing.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. This is Nothing But Up the Podcast, episode number 27. Hope you're having a good weekend right now. And know you guys, I mean, some of you might be trying to go and job hunt right now. I mean, considering the craziness that we're all experiencing, despite this pandemic. And again, it's a cool thing. I mean, spending your weekend in a more productive way. Kudos to you if you're doing that. And again, my sincerest appreciation for everybody that tuned in right now. But let's dive right in. So, as what I mentioned today, we will talk about specific ways, strategies, or means, and how you can actually create a killer portfolio as a freelancer. And yes, I don't know how to even stress this deeper enough, but it is really a must to have one, especially if you're starting out. And it is always cool to really solidify that part in your application process. I'd say to have something solid and independent that people can look into and decide right from the get-go that you are the right candidate or the right person to work with. And it's just like, what I mentioned most of the time, you have to think, when you apply for jobs, you have to take the perspective of, the client offering the job. Right. It's kind of like different if you come and think of it on a, let's say, compare it in a corporate setup. For example, if you're applying for a position in a corporate company or a corporate world or entity, I'd say, you will going to be going through tons of processes, right? Apart from your, let's say, biodata or resume, right? You would have to go through initial interview, right? And then if you pass, you'll be taking exams. If you pass, you go to another interview. If you pass, then you go through the final interview, right? And that's only if you pass, right? Freelancing is different, guys. Okay, again, this is not for everybody, but I just trying to drop some, some pros and cons when it comes to that nature. But again, it's fairly understandable. Again, considering the situation that we're all in right now. Okay, with freelancing, it's different. So what you do is that you do build an online portfolio where potential clients or people that are posting jobs would be able to take a look at you and then immediately gauge if you're a good fit, right? If you are, chances are they're going to invite you for an interview and then make a decision right away, right? Just right there in an instant. And to tell you honestly, I've been in Upwork for my entire freelancing career, and 90% of my clients are actually there. 10% is coming from outside. It could be coming from LinkedIn. It could be coming from referrals, or people randomly sending jobs to me, coming from clients and all those stuff. And but again, most of it is really coming from Upwork, and every part of your Upwork profile really matters. Okay, but some sections are typically important. Just like for your title and overview, for example, it plays a strategic role when it comes to capturing the attention of potential clients, right? And again, the portfolio, your portfolio. So you see, the benefits of having a killer portfolio could include, higher profile views and better quality job invites from potential clients landing in to your profile, and as well as increased, your their confidence in your ability and perhaps your professionalism, even if you're relatively new to the Upwork community. Now, while some talents, as what Upwork calls them, some talents or freelancers may be more visual than the others, you have to remember that your portfolio matters, whatever your particular area of expertise you're into. Okay, and you have to consider that this is going to be your opportunity to show clients what you can do for their projects and showcase your skills and your talent, right? So if you're in the middle of trying to weigh things out in terms of finding your niche and trying to go and see whichever skill set you want to master and learn, it is still relevant to you, because what I'll be talking about we'll discuss even if you're new, and most especially if you're a veteran in the field, right? Now, what bugs me the most is that even if you're a veteran in the field and you're still earning as the same amount of earnings that you're getting, probably 3-4 years from the moment you started, it tells me one thing: you are stuck, my friend, right? You're stuck. And I don't know about you. If you're in a comfortable position, then so be it. That's your choice. Definitely your choice. But with with someone like me, I really don't settle for less, guys. I always aim for anything higher. It could be a goal. It could be my job. It could be your career progression, whatever. But you need not to settle for what you're comfortable in doing, because again, if you do so, it's just like you're ending your life. You're stuck and just literally there, right? So this goes out to everybody. If you're stuck right now, if you're looking to scale, if you're looking to start, or enter the freelancing industry, this episode is definitely for you. So let me tell you a couple of tips, or not a couple, but maybe about 4 or 5 tips today that could really help you understand why you need to have a killer portfolio and why does it matter so much. Okay, so for obvious reasons, I've already talked about how potential clients would be able to gauge you from the moment they land on your profile and saw your portfolio. Okay, it's primarily the ultimate, most important thing. Why portfolio matters so much. Okay, but again, there are tons of ways in how you can go and improve it, and regardless, this will leverage your portfolio regardless of whatever skill set or niche you're in. So let's start with number 1. Okay, tell a story for each service you provide. Okay, why does it matter? Okay, now if you have more than one area of expertise, your portfolio should reflect your range of skills. Okay, it should. For example, let's say you're a copywriter, right? You love to work on product descriptions. Product descriptions, if you're not familiar with it, it's something like you have a Shopify store, an e-commerce store. You've got a cap, for example, like this one. So you describe the cap. Okay, you describe compelling copy that helps the product, sell to the marketplace. Okay, so that's your job. However, on the other side, you are also a blog post writer and a website copywriter. Okay, so different fields. Although one niche, all about copywriting, but you get different fields. Make sense to you? So you need to tell inside your portfolio that you're doing all those 3 different categories of copywriting. Okay, and it's gonna show, at least on a client's perception, it's gonna show them that you got the potential, definitely, because you're multi-talented, as you are showcasing, right? And I think it is also very helpful that you go and upload maybe at least 3 to 5 portfolio items for each of the category. That would probably show your latest, product copywriting or your blogging or your website copywriting projects. Okay, each one will be categorized separately with its own unique project description. Okay, so when it comes to organizing your portfolio items, you gotta need to start with putting the best work that you have in front of your potential clients' faces. So how do you do that? So on your portfolio, you're gonna need to go through and scan whatever work you've done in the past. Now, if you're someone new, you necessarily need not worry about it, because you can build your own portfolio basing on what you do, and you just gotta need to showcase it. Okay, so let's take copywriting for example. Okay, now again, let's go back to getting the perception of the client, right? Every time you do something, you have to think like a client, right? Like it's you who's going to hire the person, okay? So how would you hire the person if you're not impressed with a portfolio, okay? So that's a first and foremost, it's something that you need to work on immediately. So as what I'm trying to say, let's take copywriting as an example here. So you have the passion. If probably let's go ahead and do 2 scenarios here. So you're a copywriter, you're someone new, no one has hired you before, okay? But you already have some experiences outside of any other freelancing platforms out there, like Upwork, Online Jobs PH, Fiverr, whatever it is, right? So you go get in, right? create an account with Upwork or the rest of the freelancing platforms out there, and then you highlight your portfolio based on something that you did. Okay, right? Something that you did that you think could impress your potential clients. So if you're positioning yourself as a copywriter, then for obvious reasons, you have to showcase your skill, showing potential clients that you've written some copy. Okay? You place that in your portfolio, right? And your potential clients will be able to freely access it and see if it is definitely a killer. Okay? But again, even if you have a killer portfolio and you don't have the skill set to back it up, get the fuck out of here. It just really won't work. Okay? I'm telling you, right? If you put something out, back it up, right? If you're good with this, back it up, right? You gotta need to back it up. So those couple of things. And when you go ahead and write it, it needs to start with a compelling story. Okay? A story for each of the service or a single service that you are offering. Okay? Like, in most cases, that's one thing that most people overlook all the time, right? They treat their freelancing platform as some sort of bio data or a resume. Well, in fact, it's not. Okay? Yes, it's there to tell to tell your name out to your potential clients, to tell your age, your affiliations, or whatnot. But again, you need not to treat it as your bio data or resume. Okay, you need right from the get-go to showcase your skills, and to showcase it, you need to couple it up or tie it up with a compelling story that tells your potential clients looking at your profile that you are the guy to hire to. Okay. Now, what are the pros and cons? Okay. 2 scenarios of what I've said. If you're starting out, chances are they're going to be paying much lesser compared to the tenured copywriters out there. Okay. And if you're showcasing your skill and you're showing people how good you are when it comes to product descriptions and blog postings or blog writing and website copy, which is absolutely in demand at this day and age, then chances are you're going to be, invited for an interview, or greater things could possibly happen, like, having you accepting contracts right away. Okay. Another scenario would be you're already a 10-year freelancer. You've been in the industry for quite a while, and you felt like no one's looking at you. Okay, you're getting like a single invite in a month. You go and interview and you don't get hired. Chances are you don't have a work that following month, right? That sucks, right? Really sucks. And you can afford to have no work or job or project at this fucking day and age with the pandemic happening, all across the globe. So, my advice to you, my friend, is you need to work on your portfolio. Okay, showcase all the previous, jobs you've done. Let's say, for example, you're a website designer. Okay, again, a very in-demand, niche at this day and age. So you can take a look at that. So if you're a website designer, okay, you want to showcase your skills and show your clients that you're good in what you do. So how do you do it? Okay, you can always show, links or maybe recording of a video walking through, the projects you've done in the past. But what clients would be engaged is knowing the story behind and how you did it. Okay, how you created a website, the amount of time frame you were able to, complete the task or the project. The faster you did, the better, because that could really impress a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs out there trying to get out their own website for their businesses, and that is mostly the case. So if you're already in the freelancing industry for quite a while and you're not getting enough clients as you felt you should, then something's wrong with your portfolio, my friend, because nobody's inviting you. Okay? So again, guys, it boils down to creating a compelling story behind each of the services or offers you provide. Okay? Never treat your portfolio as your resume, because it's not. Especially if you're freelancing, you're creating an online portfolio, okay? Making it more accessible and, people to freely get to take a look at your work, and they can gauge themselves if you're the guy that they're looking for and then hire you, okay? So you need to impress them. And one way to attract and impress clients is, yet again, to create a compelling story behind your services or your offers. Okay? So I hope I'm clear with that. Second one, you need to leverage your portfolio creatively. So what do I mean by that? Creatively. Again, the word creative is such a very subjective word, because what's creative for me might not be for you. Okay? But there is one generic or maybe specific rule that I could probably share over with you that I find most freelancers are actually practicing. I'm not in a position to say that it's a bad practice to do, but if you feel that what you've done in the past isn't working, then chances are it's bad because it's not working. Make sense? So you've got to need to be creative with how you position yourself in the marketplace, right? Make yourself unique. Make yourself stand out from most people do. Okay? Aim to make your portfolio exciting, not just a copy of your employment history information, like again, most people do. By thinking of each, piece as its own story, whether you use words, images, videos, reports, or something close to that nature, you're more likely to get people to pay attention to the projects you want to win, right? So, over the past few years, I'm seeing different ways and methods in how you'd be able to make yourself stand out and making your portfolio unique. One is to create a case study. Okay. Again, this is applicable for both freelancers that are starting out and for freelancers that's already been years in the business and looking to scale. Okay. So if you're not familiar with case studies, it's something like a proof of the work you've done that will showcase the step-by-step things and processes you've done in completing the project and showing positive results. Okay. I don't know if I need to stress it out. Positive results, no pun intended with a pandemic happening, but definitely positive results, because you can't showcase a case study with a project that did fail. You know what I mean? So you showcase something or a case study that made wonders for yourself or made wonders or created positive results for your clients. Okay. So if you're starting out, how do you do it? Okay. So if you're starting out, there are tons of different ways in how you can do it. One is you could probably try and do pro bono, right? You can create a project. Let's say you're starting out. You know that you're good when it comes to WordPress, right? When it comes to building websites. It's just that maybe you just don't know how to, get your point across to your potential clients and just really don't know how to close deals during the interviews, which again is fairly normal. We as Filipinos, we're not native, American or English speakers, right? Just most of us or some of us are just probably blessed to know the language even more. And maybe you're just in a position that you just can't get your point across, but you're goddamn good when it comes to building websites. Okay. The problem is that you just don't know how to get your point across. Okay. You know what I mean? So if you're starting out and you are in that position, I mean, you go create a case study. Hey, you tell your client, hey, I'm looking to build my portfolio, and I'm really open and even throwing a test project for you that will give me the opportunity to showcase my skills. I know I'm good with WordPress, right? It's just that I don't know how to sell myself. Okay. And who in the world could turn it down? I mean, you're doing pro bono. You're trying to create a case study for yourself that will showcase your skills, and it is a win for the client, considering that he could save massively, right? In exchange, will be their testimonials, right? Will be their appearance on your case study, backing you up that you did their project and it was successful. Okay. Again, that's one trick in the table. If you're starting out, there's nothing to lose, right? As a matter of fact, there's too much to gain because it's going to help you build your portfolio. You yourself, as a freelancer, already has a case study that you are doing your shit a ton of good for people, right? So if you do that, then you'd be able to move on, and then you can demand more money for people coming in. Okay, now, if you're someone, again, a veteran in the freelancing community, then you're not getting clients as you are hoping. It could be probably because of this, right? You're telling yourself and showcasing yourself to tons and maybe thousands of potential clients out there, but you're not backing it up, all right? You know you're good. It's just that you're not showing it. So again, one way of showcasing your skill is to create case studies, right? Organize one and then present it, place it in your portfolio. Okay, could really mean so much. Another one, snippets. Okay, try to include some excerpts of of your work. You don't need to use the entire project, by the way, especially if it's something like a large or complex as it could be, something like funnel building or sales funnels in general, because that's a totally huge project to showcase. But you can cut some couple snippets that you can show people an example of your work that could probably include a longer document, or share a preview or a clip of that large piece of project that you worked on with. Okay. Another good way, screenshots, the simplest. Okay. If you're a Facebook ads expert and you've run multiple campaigns for business owners, e-commerce stores, or whatever, business coaches, music artists, and the like, then take some screenshots, right? Show it. Even if it on your Facebook page, for example, even if your personal Facebook page, if you're seeing positive feedback from your previous clients from there, take a screenshot of it and share it to the world. So people or your potential clients will be able to see that, hey, I'm seeing people trusting this guy and they're loving the work, right? There's no reason for me not to reach him or her out. Okay, I'm going to try and contact this guy. You know what I mean? So showing screenshots of your work, documents, apps, social media postings, or depending on the type of nature or work or niche that you're into, again, that's another way of showcasing your talents. And another one would be results. Show people your results. Okay, again, not the bad or negative results, because again, if you do that, you're screwed. You're screwed, man. So yeah, show and create a visual representation of your success using maybe a diagram, a chart, or a graph, the walking people through clients through how you will able to receive those positive results. Okay. And I think this next one is probably the most important one, testimonials. Okay. And this works again for both new and upcoming freelancers and both for the old ones. If you do have some former colleagues or clients that could vouch your skills, include a testimonial in your portfolio. Okay, it won't hurt you. As long as the testimonial is genuine and it is definitely not solicited by way of exchange of money. Okay, because it's gonna hurt you and hunt you eventually. So show real testimonials over. If you're new, you need not to get clients right away to generate testimonials, right? With how most people do it, with how I personally do it, is that again, I start creating and offering my services for free. Okay, expressing myself that hey, look, I'm looking to build my portfolio. It's just so sad that I just wasn't able to land a client as of yet, right? So how would you feel if I'll do your work for free, in exchange, provide me a solid testimonial over it? And I would ask if you could provide me a video testimonial or written testimonial of yourself, telling my audience that I am capable and I do know my shit. Make sense? Right? I mean, it's a no-brainer, guys. I mean, who would say no to you? Okay? Let's say, for example, you go through a Facebook community, right? Facebook group. They got, let's say, 80,000 freelancers in the Philippines alone. How do you fucking stand out? Okay. Well, that's what I said. If you're looking to build your portfolio, this is another trick that you can probably take away. Offer your services free. Okay. Take a look at it on a bigger perspective, on a bigger, much bigger picture. Okay. Although you're offering your services free, in exchange, you've got to be getting a video testimonial and a written testimonial. If you are a client, would you say no? Right? You might be going asking me, listening to this episode now, why the fuck should I offer my services free, man? I mean, I'm trying to land a job here. Okay. What I'd say to you, yeah, dude, that's true. You're looking at entering freelancing because you're looking to get a job. You're looking to step away from whatever fucking situation you're in, and you want to go ahead and enter this world. But I have to tell you, my friend, this world is not for everybody. And if you have nothing to back up your claim or the skill set that you claim that you're good at, unfortunately, my friend, you will never ever gonna land a client. Why? Because they look at your portfolio. Okay? Your experience weighs so much to them. And why the fuck should I hire someone who doesn't know a single shit about what I want to do? You feel me? That's the thing. If you're new, it's so hard to crack it, man. I mean, you got millions of competitors. Competitive niche. It is a competitive niche. Freelancing is a competitive niche. So one way to crack it is to get a solid portfolio. Okay? You're gonna need to, and how do you get it? Right? Testimonials plays a huge role, right? You can offer and go pay someone to do that for you. It's a no-brainer. Anyone can do that, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to haunt you because that's fake. It's not true, right? You're gonna need, generate a true testimonial. And how do you do it when you're new? Okay, no one's hiring you. No one's even trying to accept or send you an interview invite, for Christ's sake. How can you crack the code? If no one is, taking a chance on you. You know what I mean? So this is the thing. This is how you do it. Okay? Go through, maybe get around 5 or 6 testimonials in exchange of free work. Now, let's say, for example, you are a graphic designer. You're a killer, right? You create such an amazing, projects when it comes to graphic arts and the like. You do so much with Photoshop, with vector. Yeah? Everything's cool with you. But again, do you know that there are hundreds of thousands or even millions of graphic artists out there that are way more than capable in what you're doing? So it's gonna be very, very difficult to get in, man. It is. And again, one way to crack the code is to build a solid portfolio. So potential clients will be able to trust you. They'd be able to see your skills and how you showcase it, right? And you got a few testimonials in your belt. Do that. That's one of the trick, right? If you're a graphic designer, reach out to the one who posted a job, right? Offer your services free, okay? And then in exchange, just give them or give you a testimonial that what you did impressed them, or what you did made a difference to them, right? No money or capital involved. It's just your skill. And if you're passionate about your skill, why not, right? But if you're someone faking it, it plays a huge role. It is a big deal because you're not getting paid as what you're supposed to, okay? But if what you're doing right now is not working, then you're gonna need to change, right? Make sense? So yeah, those couple of things: case studies, snippets, screenshots, and most importantly, try to get and gather more testimonials as much as you can. Okay? Third, let's go to the third one. Provide additional information for each portfolio item. So say, for example, you went ahead, you are a graphic designer. Let's go back to that example. That's just fairly new. So you're a graphic designer, you build, graphics for hopefully in providing that, servicing that for your clients and such. So when you build your portfolio inside and you're showcasing your work as a graphic artist, so let's say you did a mock-up PDF file of a website, right, which your client asked you to do, or even if your client didn't ask you to do. If you're someone new, if you're a graphic designer, you can go create your own shit and show it. Hey, this is what I did. And then again, go back to point number 1, storytelling, okay? Create a story, a compelling story that showcases your skill as a graphic artist and from the specific image that you're showing people, okay? So you could go ahead and talk about how long it took the project for you to build and how fast you're able to accomplish it. What are the things when it comes to technicalities and how you did it? What type of softwares you used when you created the image, and so on, right? And it all goes and circles back to creating a compelling story, okay? Think of it this way. Believe it or not, you're selling yourself to your client. And I know for some, sales representatives or everybody, maybe anyone who's associated with sales, some people think of it as a bad thing. Okay? But what people don't realize is that you're selling yourself almost every day. Almost. You're selling yourself. Especially when it comes to this field of freelancing. When you apply for a job or a project, you're selling yourself. That, dude, hire me. Why should I hire you? Those stuff, right? And the reason why I'm telling you this is that it goes back to point number 1, storytelling. When you tell a story, people tend to listen to you. People tend to hear you out. What's up with this guy? What is he talking about? You're creating a picture with someone you're talking or speaking with, that what you do is the bomb, right? What they are about to decide will be the best decision that they could ever make. Because you know what? People buy from emotions. Okay? Clients hire freelancers because of emotions, right? Something in their mind taps them and say, hey, this is the guy that you need to work with. Okay. So you need to sell yourself. And how do you sell it? Sell it with emotions. And how do you sell with emotions? Create a compelling story along with your portfolio that could really solidify who you are as a person, who you are as a freelancer, and who and how capable you are with your skill set. And if you master all three, it's a no-brainer. You're gonna be getting invites almost every day. You're gonna be, having to book your schedules almost weekly or daily, perhaps, when it comes to meeting up with clients. So that's how you do it. Okay. So again, going back, provide additional information with a portfolio you place. It could be an image, it could be whatever work that you're into. Supply it with a story. So there has to be a story behind. So let's take this phone, for example. Okay. Right. You want to sell this phone, right? Create a compelling story behind the phone and why people should need to buy that. And again, clients hire through their emotions. It's the exact same thing when it comes to selling something. When you're selling something, people buy from their emotions, right? Not just with their money. They can afford to do so, but it is how it is. Okay, we're humans, so master those shit up. Okay, and I think finally, try and update your portfolio regularly, which reflects your skills the most. So chances are, try and hold off to the projects you have in your portfolio. And if you've already outgrown and become familiarized with how freelancing is as an industry, the better, because you'd be able to know the ins and outs and how you actually do it. So never, before I go, guys, I mean, one final thing: don't let your portfolio slide. What do I mean by that? I mean, every project you bring to the table comes with a hefty side dish of experience and growth, both of which will make you a more valuable professional in the market. Okay? This improvement is what you want your clients to see and perceive you. So never hesitate to push excellent work each and every fucking time. Okay? Golden rule: over deliver all the time. Okay? If your client tells you to, let's say, hey, Jameer, I need you to make calls at around 8 in the evening Eastern time. Be there at 7:30 or 7, right? Over deliver. Okay? Over deliver. And there's a reason why it has to be done. Because when you over deliver, clients will appreciate you. Right? Clients will look at you as someone who's really dedicated and passionate in what you do. Okay? And this applies to whatever type of job or niche you're into. Right? This applies for everybody. So if you're listening right now in this episode and you are, let's say, a sales representative, doing phone calls for your clients in the US, okay? You have a set schedule. to make calls. Okay? Try and do both. Come in early, go out late. Right? Deliver more as what your clients expect you to deliver. And believe me, it's gonna turn the tables around for you. Okay? It's going to turn the tables around for you. Because let's take myself as an example. Okay? I've been freelancing for 7 years, almost 8 years now. Okay? Every project I do, I put my heart into it. Okay? If you're staring at me, looking at me in social media and saying, man, you've come a long way. You've earned so much. You're making a fortune. Dude, I'm going to tell you, the shit that I've been through wasn't fun. 80% of it is really coming from pure pain, hard work, and labor. It's just that I'm beginning to reap the fruits of those hard work, pain, and labor I've been through over the past few years. Okay? Because I always make a point that I over-deliver. If my client tells me this, I do more than that. Okay? I always step outside the box and be engaging and always delivering the best that I could deliver and offer for my clients. And when certain projects end, they will never hesitate. They will never hesitate to leave a solid testimonial for yourself that they were extremely satisfied with what you've done for them, and that, you know, and that you were able to accomplish and go above and beyond what you're supposed to do. Right? And it was such a definite process. I wouldn't say it was strategic, but I was able to experience and begin to see some positive results over time. When I finish a contract, I go ahead and reach out to the client and say, hey, I think we got nothing else to do. I think I was able to fulfill and accomplish a project that you originally reached me out for. I was hoping if it doesn't take too much for you, if you can probably shoot me over a video testimonial or write me down something that tells me that you're satisfied with the work I've done. And then if you do that, I'll certainly do the same for you. So it's a win-win situation. And every time I do that, guys, every time, I come back with another amazing testimonial for myself. So everything that I've accumulated over these years are all genuine testimonials coming from people who I'm 100% sure that they were satisfied with the work and job I've done for them. So that's something that you should probably think about. And again, probably one of the biggest takeaway that you can get from this episode. So guys, again, it's a wrap. It's been a wonderful weekend, with you. And I hope you continue to support the show, Nothing But Up the podcast. If you haven't followed us yet, you can always go through and download and tune into our podcast episodes. That's Nothing But Up the podcast. Find it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Radio Republic. And if you're somewhat visual, you can also find us on YouTube. That's Funnel Expert PH, and you can see a couple of my testimonials there and all of our episodes from Nothing But Up the podcast. And again, this is Jamir Angelo, your host for Nothing But Up the podcast, and I'll see you on our next episode. Peace, y'all.
I'm always flexing.
Thanks for tuning in. Download this episode and pass on the news. Hit like and subscribe. Watch out for our next episode coming out next.